All right. Super late night stream. It'll be nice, short and sweet. Another shooting in Minneapolis. We'll get to that shortly. Just some house cleaning, housekeeping, whatever. Was not planning on streaming tonight. Gonna keep my voice low to respect the neighbors. It's been a weird day, and I saw there was another reported shooting in Minneapolis, and I was like, all right, let's discuss some things before we see the ramp up of what I've been concerned about, which is liberals doing what liberals do, um, normalizing the police, finding insidious ways to mislead us and to take advantage of the anger, the frustration, and the revolutionary potential of the masses of the working class. And we're going to see how, as I've been saying, once a Democrat is in office in the White House or they take control of government, they're going to pass these half-ass compromises. You know what we say about compromises? Compromises is the sacrifice of the most marginalized. And the one that I'm mainly focused on is because they've been crying about it so much, as if that's the main issue, which is that ICE agents wear masks. So they're going to pass a reform, I guarantee it, to where ICE agents don't have to wear masks unless under certain circumstances or whatnot. But for the most part, they won't have to wear masks. And that's going to be celebrated. That's going to be celebrated as this grand accomplishment. And it's going to be further and further abandon any potential of abolishing ICE. It's a wrap. And even the way that Democratic Party members are talking about ICE now reflects that ICE is never going to go away. ICE is part of American life moving forward. These killings carried out by ICE will be no different now than the killings that, the pigs carry out. So this is just part of our life now. This is it. No matter what liberals tell you, this is part of our life, and they're complicit in this normalization. So that is the unfortunate reality. Do not be misled that this is some type of tipping point. Why would the tipping point be ICE murdering people out in the streets when it has not been the tipping point of pigs murdering black and brown people? Why would this now be the tipping point? What are the material conditions that have changed so profoundly that this would be the thing to push the masses over the edge? No one has pointed or exposed or illuminated or educated me in what the difference is now. We are still unorganized. We're still unprepared. There's still no vanguard party. There is nothing to demonstrate that anything is going to change. We will normalize this the same way we have normalized pigs killing people out on the street. And the Democratic Party and their liberal mouthpieces, the Majority Report, Hassan Piker, Kyle Kalinske, Crystal Ball, the Vanguard, you name them. You fucking name them. The Humanist Report, the Rational National, all these people, leftist mafia, will be complicit in normalizing their continued existence and their continued mass murder and simply call for reforms. They will not hold their politicians accountable. When they abandoned and polished ICE, they didn't do it. When even now, Mamdani and AOC, maybe something we could talk about further tomorrow. They both came out and denounced the protesters that were in New York outside of a synagogue, outside a Jewish temple, chanting, we support Hamas. That's what they were saying. And Mamdani and AOC came out. Mamdani in a very political, professional manner to denounce it. AOC in almost a gleeful manner. Gleefully wagging her finger, talking down to the pro-Palestinian movement that had caused her so much headache. Remember, these individuals were the first ones to hound her and record her and demand her to call it a genocide before Genocide Joe and Holocaust Harris gave her the blessing and the permission to call it a genocide. And then you had Emma Vigeland, Sam Cedar, Matt Legg, all glorify AOC for calling it a genocide, being one of the first. Meanwhile, when she lied at the DNC saying that Harris and Biden were working tirelessly for a ceasefire, they didn't announce her that night. But when she showed up for that interview, they adored her. They adored her. So these people are opportunists and careers. They're discussing fucking parasites that we need to rid from the left. We need to rid them from the left, and we need to view them as our enemies. I know I say that a lot. I know I'm repetitive, but this is when it matters most, right? It matters the most when they are proactively normalizing propaganda, creating AI art. This is what liberals are doing, creating AI videos that art, as if AI and art belong together. My apologies. Creating AI videos of New York police arresting ICE agents, calling for the pigs to arrest their peers, their colleagues. In what world will that ever happen? In what world does that make any fucking sense? Let me see if I can find this real quick. Give me 1 second. I totally forgot about that AI video. I was so disgusted with this. I don't know if y'all seen it, but man, these liberals, man. Actually, I had to tweet that because it was so obscene. I just, it amazes me how low liberals will stoop. Oh, here it is. There you go. Here we go.
Hands behind your back. Here. You don't have any jurisdiction here. You hear me? We run things here. Keep your hands behind your back. Federal agents, let go of me. Better or not, you don't snatch people off my platform without a warrant. You don't have any jurisdiction here. You hear me? We run things here.
Man. And of course, it has to be a black officer. The liberal that created this was like, they input that shit in there. Oh, give me a video of an NYPD officer. Make sure he's a minority. Arresting ICE. Poetic justice. And so you have this AI video. Man, like, exactly. We run things here. I just, look, I think it's annoying when streamers be like, I called it or I said this and that. I was not expecting this to happen so rapidly. Remember, I said it'll happen under a Democratic Party administration. I had no idea that liberals would do this immediately in real fucking time. They are so despicable. They're so fucking useless. They are truly, 100%. Let there be no doubt that they are our enemies. Glorifying the police, the NYPD. The NYPD, I think only to the LAPD, probably the most obscene police force. I know for a long time, and I think it's still the truth, that LAPD is the most diverse and most fucking violent and racist police force in the country. But I'm sure that NYPD is right there to create this. This is straight liberal propaganda, glorifying the police to pretend that ICE isn't like just part of the same fucking state, part of the same apparatus, part of the same oppressive structure. And so for them, it's the villain of the week. That's what it is for them. There has to be one bad guy that they can focus on. And yes, you know, the chat's mentioning it, saying we run this place, like we run things here. I mean, that's fairly fucking accurate, but completely missing why that's an issue. The people should be running New York, not the NYPD. And then you hear again, an AI video discussing that we're like having to talk about this as if it's something serious, but it's propaganda, it's liberal propaganda to glorify the police. Here's a new villain, ICE. Here's a new, unique and different in every way, never seen before, just like Trump. We never dealt with something like this before. How could we have prepared for this? We never saw it coming. We can only count on the Democratic Party to fight them, fight fascism. You know who we're going to use to fight fascism? The fascist pigs. So we go from saying abolish the police to defund the police to Mamdani saying maintain the police to now glorifying the police and saying they're the ones, they're our heroes that are going to stop ICE. How fucking ridiculous. How low can these fucking people sink? They will lead us to the slaughter every single time, and they will smile. They will smile, and they're gonna hold their noses high in the air, being like, "We told you this was gonna happen. You should have just voted for another Democrat. You should have voted for more Democrats." And then you hear the ICE agent. Fucking AI bullshit, man.
He's here. Keep your hands behind your back. Federal agents, let go of me. Federal or not.
We're federal agents, let go of me. And then the AI pig says, federal or not. Yeah, like that's ever gonna fucking happen.
You don't snatch people off my platform without a warrant.
Federal or not, you don't snatch people off my platform without a warrant. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing? And of course, the AI slob, NYCD. I don't even know if that's a real thing. What the fuck? Or it's just an AI mistake. This is where we're at. I was wrong, y'all. I could not predict how quick a creature that crawls on its belly could move. I was mistaken. I underestimated how quick a fucking worm could crawl through the mud, could crawl through the fucking dirt. My apologies, my sincere apologies. I for sure thought that it was going to take some time to see shit like this. Oh, man. It is atrocious. Watch this one more time, y'all.
You don't have any jurisdiction here. You hear me? We run things here.
Keep your hands behind your back. Federal agents, let go of me.
Federal or not, you don't snatch people off my platform without a warrant. You don't have any.
And of course, the AI slob with the hands not even making sense. Whose arm is this going through here? And then you see another arm right here. So he's arresting this guy, and then there's another. How much water did this fucking liberal waste to create this fucking propaganda? I mean, at this point, the state, the fucking beast, should just be like, oh, you know what? Every decade, we're gonna create a new police force, just like the old one, just like the one before that. But we'll create a new one. We'll create a new one, so then we could glorify the previous one. And we'll make them each regulate each other. That way liberals will have a new fucking villain of the week to look at. To blame all their fucking problems on. I was saying, ICE is just another police force. Do not allow them to trick you into thinking that they are something unique or something different, as if the pigs haven't been behaving that way since the beginning, since the fucking beginning. The way that we normalized SWAT. So, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. SWAT was first deployed in Los Angeles, um, or not in Los Angeles, in California, to take out the Black Panthers. Am I wrong with that? Let me see. First time SWAT was deployed. Let's see how wrong I am. Yeah, even AI agrees with me. Even fucking AI agrees with me. Let's go to Wikipedia, I guess. The first SWAT units were formed in the 1960s to handle riot control and violent confrontation with criminals. Let's see here. Let's see. Hmm. The LAPD promoted what became known as SWAT teams for a variety of reasons. After the racially charged Watts riots in Los Angeles in August 1965, the LAPD began considering tactics it could use when faced with urban unrest, rioting, and widespread violence. You know, when the black and brown hordes get a little restless. Daryl Gates, who led the LAPD response to the riots, would later write that the police at the time did not face a single mob, but rather people attacking from all directions. The savages. New York University professor Christian Parenti has written that SWAT teams were originally conceived as an urban counterinsurgent bulwark. Fairly accurate. Uh, where is it here? Oh shit, I didn't know about this. SWAT type operations were conducted north of Los Angeles in the farming community of Delano, California. Delano? There, Anya there? I don't know. On the border between Kern and Tulare counties in San Joaquin Valley. At the time, the United Farm Workers Union, led by Cesar Chavez, was staging numerous protests in Delano in a strike that would last over 5 years from 1965 to 1970. Though the strike never turned violent, the Delano Police Department responded by forming ad hoc SWAT type units involving crowd and riot control, sniper skills, and surveillance. Television, news stations, and print media carried live and delayed reportage of these events across the United States. Personnel from the LAPD, having seen these broadcasts, contacted Delano and inquired about the program. One officer then obtained permission to observe the Delano Police Department Special Weapons and Tactic units in action, and afterwards he took what he had learned back to Los Angeles, where his knowledge was used and expanded to form the LAPD's own first SWAT unit. So literally, the origins were to stop brown people. And never forget about Filipinos. Never forget about Filipinos. Never forget Filipinos being the origin point for why, Mexican and Mexican Americans organize unions. Never forget that Cesar Chavez was a disgusting fucking xenophobe. But all that, just some of that to the side. The fact that unionizing efforts were the inception for this SWAT team that were used to stop, mainly predominantly, we're being honest, black people in Los Angeles from, from uprising. Wow. I didn't know this either, Lynn Staggs. They fucking hate us, bro. They're ready. They're ready. They've wanted and prepared to exterminate us when it's most convenient. They need a cheap labor force. And that's been the main thing that's been holding them back. It would be too costly. It'd be too much of a headache. But these fucking idiots in charge right now, these absolute morons, they don't think long term. I mean, look at what happened with Venezuela. In Venezuela, Trump does all this bullshit, which according to Bad Empanada, Maduro was in, including, the beating of his wife and everything, because that's totally rational. And now, was it Exxon? That was like, yeah, we need more assurances though, because Like, yeah, you got Maduro, but like, we can't really invest. We need more guarantees. And what did Trump do? He's like, I didn't like their response. I didn't like their answer. So we're not gonna go with them. They're out. He is like a mobster in that sense. Like, they offended me. We're out. Let's see if I could Trump and Exxon, I think. Is it Exxon? He's on the plane. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Also, tell me if I'm thinking about this too much. Fucking white women. Look at this. That was weird, bro. That was weird. When I first saw this, I'm like, she smelled a little too much. He likes the camera. He likes the attention on himself.
Companies make commitments to you, sir? Have any oil companies made commitments to the United States after your meeting on Friday, sir?
And the question is, how many oil companies are going to invest in Venezuela after your meeting? He said a lot.
After your meeting on Friday, sir? Have Exxon?
I don't want to say.
They asked about Exxon.
No, I didn't like Exxon's response. We have so many.
And he said, no, I didn't like Exxon's response. But Exxon was like, yo, like asking the same fucking thing that liberals want. More efficiency from a settler colonial empire. They want a more efficient head of state. And Exxon's like, well, you need to do a little bit more. The same thing with the drone strikes in Nigeria. Still, oil companies like, it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk. Trump doesn't like that.
Have Exxon?
I don't want to say. No, I didn't like Exxon's response. We have so many that want it. I'd probably be inclined to keep Exxon out. I didn't like their response. They're playing
I didn't like the response. I'm going to keep them out.
too cute.
They're playing too cute. This is fucking weird. I don't care what you say. This is fucking weird, man. But I'm a sexist. I'm a machista when I say that white women are right there next to the white man, bro. Where were we? All right. I don't know how we got there. Let's see. I want to make sure that we cover the Black Panthers aspect of it. Oh, here it is. The first significant deployment of the LAPD SWAT was on December 9th, 1969, when an attempt by the LAPD to serve arrest warrants against the Black Panthers led to a 4-hour standoff at their Los Angeles headquarters at 41st and Central, during which over 5,000 rounds were exchanged between police and the Panthers. I would like a little specifics on like what the ratio was, but okay. During the shootout, Daryl Gates called the Department of Defense requesting and receiving permission to use a grenade launcher. However, it was never actually used. The Panthers eventually surrendered, with 4 Panthers and 4 officers being injured. All 6 arrested Panthers were acquitted of the most serious charges brought against them, including conspiracy to murder police officers, because it was ruled that they had acted in self-defense. By 1974, there was a general acceptance of SWAT as a police resource in Los Angeles. The West Coast, baby. God damn. So again, by 1974, it only took like, well, it was in December when they were first seriously deployed. So let's just say 1970. By 1970, first deployed. By 1974, 4 years, normalized. Please understand that under Obama, under Trump, under Biden, ICE were normalized. Now they're being questioned. Now set by the masses, but Democrats are invested now. They're like, we're gonna keep them. They require more training, more regulations. We're gonna get some compromises, but ICE is just the way of life now. They have been. That's the thing. They have been. So that shit's not changing. In fact, I have a video here of Cory Booker essentially saying the same thing. Let me find that real quick. Basically saying like, yeah, like we're not going to shut down the government over this. I believe it was on MSN Now, and I think I have Ken Klippenstein's or Ken. Yeah, here it is. Do me a favor, y'all. If you admire Cory Booker, if you want to see Cory Booker run for president again, if he has your vote guaranteed, hit the like button for this late night stream. Appreciate y'all being here.
Justifies Democrats shutting down the government.
Let me turn this up a little bit.
Over withholding this funding from DHS. Justifies Democrats shutting down the government over withholding this funding from DHS unless reforms are initiated, unless new rules and requirements are put in place. Would you feel comfortable shutting down the government over this issue?
Look, I think the real problem we have in the
when they don't give you a yes or no immediately, and they give you that look. Now hold on a minute. Now just hold your horses. Or it's more complicated than that. It's a wrap. It's over. They've already chosen a side, and it ain't ours. It ain't ours.
Requirements are put in place. Would you feel comfortable shutting down the government over this issue?
Look, I think the real problem we have in this country right now is a dysfunctioning Congress. What we are starting to see is cracks in that. And what I mean is Democrats need Republicans to join with us in using our power of oversight, accountability, and checks and balances. And so I'm very happy to start seeing more and more Republicans. We have 5 on this war powers resolution recently that are beginning to break with the president, saying that this president is out of control and reckless. He is cruel and corrupt. And so whether it's the war powers resolution that you've seen, his recent attacks on the Fed, doing something that we have never seen any president from any party.
Bro, that was wild. And I got a bunch, and the thing is, Trump appointed that Fed and the head of the Federal Reserve, and old videos are popping up of him just like being this curmudgeon and being like, no, that's not true, to Trump. And I was just like, who the fuck is that? Like, not glorifying him, but I was just like, who is this fucking character, bro? Anywho, that was a trip. I want to see like a mockumentary done on this motherfucker of him just like helping Trump destroy the fucking the country or whatever, but while simultaneously trying to like turn off little fires, or like just really concerned about like the rules and regulations of how to destroy a country. I don't know.
Cruel and corrupt. And so whether it's the war powers resolution that you've seen, his recent attacks on the Fed, doing something that we have never seen any president from any party do, is attacking the independence of that agency like he is, using and misusing the powers of the Justice Department to investigate his political enemies. We have got to continue to build momentum in this country to stop Republicans from bending over backwards and doing whatever Donald Trump says. One party is not going to fix this. Patriots of good conscience who say this is unacceptable under any president have to begin to stand up. And I'm working.
Chat, are you a patriot of good consciousness? If you have a good consciousness, fuck it. If you just have a conscience, you wouldn't be a patriot. It's not complicated. Show me all the wonderful Israeli patriots of good consciousness. Please, where are they at? A settler colonial project, much less a settler colonial empire, and good conscience just, they don't mix, homie. They don't mix.
Across the aisle to try to pull more people back to sanity.
So on that question, again, on the shutting down the government over this question, are you telling me that you believe you have Republicans who would join you to force new accountability rules so that shutting down the government wouldn't have to be a...
Well, no, not per se. Well, okay. numbers, right? Like numerically, not quite. But you know, numbers are like they're a weird thing because numbers aren't really real if you think about it, because there's imaginary numbers. And if you think about it, a negative number, is that even a number? You know, like this is the response he's about to fucking give, this fucking idiot.
You have Republicans who would join you to force new accountability rules so that shutting down the government wouldn't have to be an option.
So we could say things like shutting down the government. We saw what happened. We had the longest government shutdown in a while. Democrats could not hold together to sustain that kind of pressure. What I am saying right now is,
bro said we're too fucking weak to stand 10 toes down, to stand our fucking ground. We'll be performative and cause people more suffering for nothing. Gio, the light-skinned Van Jones. I think you're just being anti-bald. I think that's what it is. I think you think all bald people, regardless of their skin color or how badly they fucking sell out, all look the same. And when somebody has no idea how shit's gonna end up, I don't know if I could co-sign that anti-baldness. Clay Station, she's asking him if he has a backbone. She's asking if the fucking party has one. And he's like, no, remember? Man.
we the people, because the power of the people is greater than the people in the power, more people are going to have to put pressure on Republicans who are getting closer and closer to their reelections. Start putting pressure on them and saying, if you are not accountable to the people, we'll get new people and replace you. And that is starting to have an effect. So I'm looking for effective means with which to dislodge Donald Trump's voodoo or whatever control he has over the Republican Party.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I want to say this, and I do, because I'm like, should I just go full blue collar and be like, fuck your sensitivities. I'm on the left and I don't care about using bad words and slurs as long as the left agenda gets pushed forward. There's this fucking idiot named, he used to go by Real Diversity or True Diversity. I don't know, some white dude covering comics and pop culture. And he uses ableist slurs and things like that. And he's like, you know, my audience knows that I don't mean it that way, that I'm not actually racist or ableist or homophobic. But like, I'm just being honest with you. The moment that he said, I don't know what type of voodoo Donald Trump has over the Republican Party, because that's just there's no need for magical anything. Just like the Democratic Party, the Republican Party has a shared financial and material interest in Donald Trump wreaking havoc. It's all going according to plan, right? So, but when he said the voodoo, I'm like, oh man, like I just want to, like, can you imagine like a thumbnail with Donald Trump and like straight up like the most stereotypical voodoo shit around him, and with just Cory Booker with his head shrunk on this, like that's where my mind went to. I never want to lie to y'all and say that I'm a good person or that I'm like my conscience is clean. It's not. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh man, that thumbnail would be peak, would get fucking clicks. But we're trying to be better people. We're not trying to promote and advance stereotypes and in this sense anti-black. Should I turn up the? I have to whisper. I have neighbors and these walls are thin. I'm trying to be respectful. So I only mentioned that because that would be the easier path, right? That would be the easier path. It's like Kyle Kalinske using slurs and all this stuff, and everybody giving him a pass because he's a white dude and he's on the right side, right? So, and I'm brown, so I could get away with it, right? I'm like, oh, I'm brown. Like, this is how we joke around. It's like, nah, there's no need for that. But I don't ever want you to think that those thoughts don't go through my head, because they do. Because they do. And I find them funny and whatnot. And I'm trying to be better. I'm a piece of shit at the end of the day. So I just like sharing that shit because I never want to mislead people into thinking that I'm like consciously or intellectually advanced or evolved. I'm a knuckle dragging cave dwelling fucking backwards barbarian. What can we do?
Which Congress accountable to the people will get new people and replace you. And that is starting to have an effect. So I'm looking for effective means with which to dislodge Donald Trump's voodoo or whatever control he has over the Republican Party, in which people sworn an oath to the Constitution are in many ways betraying that oath and not even allowing the independent branch of government, that is the executive, to do their job. And the consequences of that, we are seeing how dangerous that is. Let's take ICE again as an example. They have diminished their standards dramatically under Donald Trump. They're trained.
This is where we're at. This is where we're at. The issue is that ICE has diminished their standards. Diminished their standards. You know, it's just unfortunate that ICE has changed, man. ICE has changed under Donald Trump. You know, when the Democratic Party was dating ICE, ICE was, would wake up early. ICE would go out on a run. They were, ICE was careful about their diet. ICE was different under the Democrats, under Biden. They were good people. They were trained. They were good, solid, patriotic Americans. That's what they were. But, now ICE has just let themselves go. They're drinking more. They're not them. They're not journaling like they used to. I mean, to be honest, 2026, has ICE even done their vision board? How are they going to manifest their goals? How are they going to bring them to light? I don't know. If the Democratic Party ever takes back ICE, we expect a lot of changes, and not just promises, but real changes. We don't want them to hear us. We want them to listen, because hearing, it's easy, but listening, that requires concentration. That requires commitment. Holy fucking shit, bro. Oh, man. It is astonishing. It is just impressive. It really is. Like, my disgust towards fucking liberals, whether it's Booker, Sam Cedar, Hassan, it doesn't fucking matter. I can't begin to understand how much I hate them. Like, I hope that someday I can love somebody as much as I hate liberals, because like I love people. Like, there's certain people in my life, not many, certain people that I love unconditionally. But it scares me to realize that my hatred for liberals seems to dwarf that unconditional love. What does it say about me as a human being? How do I love more? How do I love harder in order to balance out my hatred for liberals? I don't know. I need help. Liberals, teach me how to love as much as I hate you.
Has gone from 5 months to 47 days. Their standards for hiring, whether it's
Oh my gosh. Wait, how many years of schooling and education and training did ICE have to do before evil Donald Trump changed things? What? Hold on, what? Hold on.
Diminished their standards dramatically under Donald Trump. Their training has gone from 5 months to 47 days.
Bro, not even half a fucking Gregorian calendar year. This motherfucker's bragging about 5 months to kidnap people. Mind you, there's no fucking, over here, we're not saying, oh, reform, more training. Remember the standards, ICE. Remember the standards. Fuck that. We say abolish ICE. But even the pathetic fucking excuses that these people have, these liberals have, 5 months was the gold standard. We need to bring it back. Holy fucking shit, man. That is great. Baristas get more training. Fuck, man. And you know what it is? Because I used to be a barista in a not so mom and pop shop coffee spot. And we had higher accountability. Higher accountability. Now I did some ghetto shit here and there when I would get annoyed with customers. Never anything gross. I don't that's suddenly like a bad atheist. I believe in karma when it comes to food and drinks. Um, but definitely yelled, called out. I almost jumped out of a drive-through window once because this creepy old fucking white dude was like sexually harassing my supervisor. I'm not saying I see red, but sometimes I just lose myself a little bit and forget that I'm like employed. I'm never going back to customer service. I'm never going back to customer service. Give me a 12-hour shift any day of the fucking week over like a baby 4-hour shift dealing with overgrown fucking children craving sugar and their caffeine. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. Anywho,
Standards for hiring, whether it's educational standards or even age, have gone way, way down. I've been pushing now for months for us to have body cameras, for us to have an act I did with.
I need to talk to Alec. Am I gonna break my no white people rule? Am I gonna break my no white people rule and talk to Alec? Or how are we gonna do that one? Chat, any ideas? Because the body cam shit, utter fucking bullshit. That's what they need. A lot of them already have them on. Remember, hold on. Remember when this just happened? What the fuck is this was saying? Eyes. This ICE agent, or like supervisor, leader, I don't know, fucking captain, commander, lieutenant, told his team to turn off their body cams. Let me see if I can find it. It's just flooded with other like just bullshit. Turn off, I guess. Y'all digging the late night streams? I can't be as fucking loud as I normally am, so I'm trying to regulate my voice. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. That's so annoying. That was gonna be like one of the major videos on Twitter, but everything's about Minneapolis. ICE tells agents to turn off body cam. Let's try that. No. Yeah, everything's about Renee Good. Shoot. I mean, sorry. And I just saw this not too long ago too. That's unfortunate. Or maybe I'm misremembering. It was just regular pigs doing pig shit. All right, let's finish this.
With Padilla called the Visible Act, where they cannot hide their identities and even their insignias.
Gio, you're 100% correct though. Gio says they're recording stuff on their phones. What are body cameras gonna do? It's a different angle, Gio. You're not thinking. See, when you're holding a phone as you're about to execute somebody, you're not holding it steady enough for us to lie to you about what you're seeing. And also, when you take the shot, the recoil is going to move the phone out of focus. And depending on what phone you have, it might not be able to keep up with that. And so, what Cory Booker and liberals want to make sure is that by having a body camera that ICE agents could turn off and on whenever they want on their chest, it's providing you a better, more comprehensive 70 millimeter shot of all the action in public executions. Now, soon we'll have 4K resolution for these executions, but for now you're just gonna have to like deal with like the old school like Blu-ray kind of. It's fine, it's great, but we still want you to go to the theaters to watch these executions. Just because we got to save the theaters, and Netflix is really ruining the community aspect of moviegoers, and that's not good for the general audience overall in Hollywood. Really, if you think about it. So what we want is that the body cameras are here in order for there to be less movement with that handheld device, right? And so when they take a shot and their body's pushed backwards, the shot remains consistent. I'm just saying, Gio, if you're gonna type, think about what the director wanted and the experience that they wanted you. I mean, you seem like one of these people that watches Casablanca on their iPhones while on the airplane. It's just no respect for the art form. God damn, I fucking hate this, bro. We haven't finished this. We haven't finished this. Holy shit, we haven't finished this. Oh, shit. I'm not sarcastic. I am as sincere as a liberal can ever be.
Well, this is good legislation and good steps to call for these things, but unless we get Republicans...
Also, you fuckers have me drinking cold brew at what is 8:08. 8:08. So if I can't sleep tonight, I'm gonna be cranky tomorrow.
To join us.
Yeah.
We're good steps to call for these things, but unless we get Republicans to join us, we're not going to see the kind of progress we need.
So it sounds like what you're saying to me is that ultimately the Democrats are the minority party and they only have so much power that you don't think it's a good idea to shut down the government over one issue, but that rather this has got to go back to the American public, and the American public has to be the ones to put pressure on these individual lawmakers to come to the table, that ultimately you can only do so much, that the American public needs to get more forcefully involved here.
You sure about that? Because Tim Walz, who should have been our VP according to all the liberals, all the independent media propagandists that happen to align with all the Democratic Party, the Crystal Balls, the Kyle Kalinske, the Hassan Pikers, the Sam Cedar, the Emma Viglins, you name the fucking list. They were all glorifying Tim Walz. As VP. They couldn't believe it. In fact, they were upset that the Harris campaign pulled him back. And he told him to cool it. And yet Tim Walz, just like he called the National Guard on BLM protesters, he threatened to call the National Guard. Don't worry, your neighborly National Guard, your neighborly, local sourced National Guard, to break your fucking orbital bone, to smash skulls, to use chemical weapons on you if you got a little too unruly in your disagreement with ICE and this administration. So what you're asking for is not for the public to get more involved and more active. What you're calling for them is to vote for the Democratic Party more, because they accomplished so much under Biden. They accomplished so much. I mean, they almost abolished ICE and they almost gave us universal health care under Biden. Isn't that? Well, no, he would have vetoed that, but you get it. She's definitely mocking him. I don't watch MSNBC now. Honestly, I don't even think I knew about it until like this week. But yeah, she's holding that shit down. Look at her. Hey. Look, they tricked all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point or another, and I'll make the exception and call me sexist or misandrous. Well, no, that doesn't work either. Huh. I was gonna say maybe black women were the only people that white women, like white feminists, didn't trick. But no, no, I'm thinking about that. No, I'm sorry, not even that. I guess they tricked all of us. But yeah, they know they're slick. They're slick. My point is they're slick with it, and she's definitely mocking this fool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Look at this. Look at this. Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't. You know what? I wasn't really paying attention. I was looking at a booker that was memorized by the glare. I mean, we share a glare, you know? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at her face. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's look at her face while she does this. Um, let's look at their face.
We're not going to see the kind of progress we need.
So it sounds like what you're saying to me is that ultimately the Democrats are the minority party and they only have so much power that you don't think it's a good idea to shut down the government over one issue, but that rather this has got to go back to the American public, and the American public has to be the ones to put pressure on these individual lawmakers to come to the table, that ultimately you can only do so much, that the American public needs to get more forcefully involved.
Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That side eye, and also I was noticing this eyebrow here. That's a little hidden by the hair. It's being raised a little. That's her tail right there. That's her tail.
Can only do so much, that the American public needs to get more.
There it is. Where's the bullshit? The bullshit's over there.
Forcefully involved here.
Yeah. Oh, she's trying to hold it. She's trying to hold it. She's like, you fucking coward. You're a fucking joke. You're never gonna be president.
Yeah, this is a test of our democracy. And everything in our country that we have seen in moments like this has been people standing up and saying enough is enough. There was a time we didn't have the votes for.
Hold on. I might be paying favorites over here, but look, just for Lynn Stack. What is her name? Gloria Steinem. Lynn Stack, I'm not pointing fingers, but I believe, I was gonna give it to black women. I really was. I was gonna say, y'all were the only ones that didn't fall for white feminism or white women's insidious weaponization of their innocence. We all did, Lynn Stack. We all did. We have to collectively own that L. We have to hold it with shame, but understanding that, white women cannot be trusted just like white men. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, I was about to give y'all the sole victory in this. And then I remember this photo, like it flashed before my frontal lobe before I could say those words. And, I'm just trying to stay on Dr. Tommy Curry's good side. So man. Y'all be eating. That's crazy. Lynn Stack, when Lynn Stack, when you go low, I'm gonna go high. How about that? When you go low, I'm gonna go high. All right.
Civil rights legislation or for suffrage legislation or even some of the key labor laws that we now take for granted. All of those things, those changes did not.
Espiritu, I said I was a poser that day. When I made that mistake, I said I was a poser for sure. But also you have to understand, I was gonna make a really wild joke, but I'm gonna hold back on it. But it was gonna be at my expense, and I was gonna call myself a racist, but in different words. No, I'm not. I'm so bad with names. I am like embarrassingly bad with names. It has cost me significant opportunities, let's call them, because of how bad I am with names. I don't know what maybe it's the dyslexia. I don't know. I had one person once tell me that um, that I didn't remember people's names because I was too arrogant and I didn't think they were important enough to remember. And I was like, like, no, I'm just fucking stupid, bro. And I can't remember names. I'm great with faces. I'm great with fucking face. I just can't remember names. But it was this funny kind of thing where I'm like, you're reading way too much into this. I want to remember people's names. I feel so bad when I don't. And especially when they remember yours and you're just like, oh man, like throw me a lifeline here. Like, I'm sorry. And I think one thing that I haven't done, but I've it has helped in the past, I haven't done recently, is writing down names. And if I really want to remember it, like I think that if I were to sketch out their faces, which is kind of weird, if I were to wear their skin, uh, that might help. But there's, I mean, it's too much work. That part I will give you. I think going that far is too much work. But I do think I need to like spell people's names or write their names down. Um, so yeah. Mm, oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's a major laser. That's why I was gonna immediately just say what I was gonna say. Uh, Lynn Stacks. I never met her. This is crazy. Uh, that's so good. Never met him. Oh man.
From Washington, it came to Washington. And so here we are in a constitutional crisis. We're seeing a president violate the Constitution to do his adventurism in his engagements. He seems to be more concerned with running Venezuela than he is as he's ruining this country's economy.
Hold on. Did Cory Booker denounce Trump's kidnapping of Maduro? Did he really do that? Did he really do that? And then, sorry, real quick on the. Okay, nothing's going down in the Twitch live chat. I didn't think there would be. I just wanted to check in with y'all. Just in case. You know, we're all about the YouTube overlords, Google and such over here. Not so much love for Bezos. Let me put this back up. Did Cory Booker? I guess Maduro would be better. Okay, here we go. Booker's statement on Trump's occupation of Venezuela. Today, the U.S. Senator Cory Booker. Yeah. Wait, but where's the actual? Is this it? Oh, what the fuck? Yes, okay. Today, many leaders will rightly condemn President Donald Trump's unlawful and unjust actions in Venezuela, and I joined them. Okay. But God damn, bro. But just as glaring and far more damning is Congress ongoing. Okay, okay. He's holding Congress accountable. Okay, never mind. I take it back. For almost a year now, the legislative branch has failed to check a president who repeatedly violates his oath, disregards the law, and endangers Americans' interests at home and abroad. Okay. I'm sure he said that about Biden and his funding of a genocide. Time and again, Congress, now led by Republicans, has chosen spineless complicity over its foreign responsibilities. Okay. From the reckless leaking of classified information that put American troops at risk to the illegal use of military force, destroying vessels and killing people in the Caribbean and the Pacific without congressional authorization. You can only kill them if we let you. There has been a stunning absence of accountability, no hearings, no serious investigations, no enforcement of checks and balances, no accountability. And again, the president has exceeded his authority, defied congressional intent, trampled the separation of powers, and broken the law while Congress looked away in cowardice and submission. Okay, the Republicans. Oh, here we go. Nicolás Maduro is a brutal dictator who has committed grave abuses. Okay, bad empanada. All right. I think he's Cory Booker's fucking communications director. The United States military remains the most capable fighting force on the earth, and our praiseworthy service members carry out their orders with professionalism and excellence. Their hits and abductions are the best. But none of that suspends the Constitution. The Constitution is ambiguous. Congress has the power and responsibility to authorize the use of military force and declare war. Okay. Congress has failed. We like that. But of course, smearing Maduro as a dictator, a brutal one at that. What happened today is wrong. Congressional Republicans would say so immediately if a Democratic president had done the same. I don't know if that's true. I do not know. I think they would have all been celebrating in Havana. Well, in Havana, they wish, in fucking Florida. Um, their silence is surrender, and in that surrender lie the seeds of democratic unraveling. There are still 3 years left in this administration, from the pardoning of individuals who violently attack police officers while attempting to overturn our election to this latest extrajudicial assault on another nation's sovereignty. The damage will continue unless it is confronted. Enough is enough. Congress has failed, but it is not too late to redeem the harm done. By a year of submission and silence, Congress must act now. It must reassert its constitutional authority, restore the rule of law, and stop this president from further injury before further injury is done to our democracy and our republic. Here's my question, though. If Donald Trump would have gone to Congress secretly, right, in terms of like for national security purposes, we can't release this to the public until after. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt that the Democratic Party would have co-signed all this? Is there any doubt that the Republican Party would have co-signed this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
You see him overstepping and using the Justice Department to investigate and really bring suits against people that are members of Congress. You're seeing him do so many things that are above and beyond the bounds of the Constitution. And they cannot be checked right now if this body is not doing its job. And this body will continue to not do its job until more of us begin to fight and demand that they do. And this is not a left or right issue. This is a right or wrong issue. And I respect those Republican and conservative voices that have become very loud in 2026 already on saying this president is exceeding his authority in a very dangerous way, that is risking our economy, that's driving up costs, that's creating reckless impact on our economy. We have got to get that pressure risen. More of us have got to speak up.
Yeah, I know. We've heard about it from Republicans on the War Powers Act. We've heard about it from...
She's going to list off like, yeah, we've heard this before. Sure, pal. I was wondering where I heard that before about this isn't left or right. This is about right or wrong. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Let's see if I can find it real quick. No, it's about the shooting. Yeah, but I'm trying to... Here you go.
What do you do? Why are you doing?
Also, Hassan Piker's so fucking pathetic that he, while live streaming, he's in Asmongold's chat. Is so fucking desperate for attention and to create content. I do not believe when he says it's about combating his reactionary ideals, moral maybe. This is the only moment that he says moral, but I know there's another time where he says left or right. Let me see if it's this one. Fuck, I want the transcript, bro. But he also says, oh. No, that's the wheel turning left or right. But Hassan Piker literally said that this is not a left or right issue, this is a moral issue. That reminds me of what Cory Booker just said, and I was kind of blown away by it. I guess maybe it's not this one. Yeah, I guess not. Interesting. Oh well, but I was thrown off by the idea that this would promote.
I think that she didn't.
Like Gladys way to say this isn't a left or right issue when it's literally fascists doing this shit. But no, this is all gonna be left or right about turning the car. Yeah. Oh well. Hmm. Anywho, doesn't really matter. But this idea that that these people supporting Asmongold and the right would do anything. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here we go. This fucking idiot, bro.
But at the end of the day, regardless of politics, right or wrong, just or unjust, a person's life was ended in a less than ideal manner, and the ripple will be lasting. Good. Maybe other people will pay attention to it, and they won't do what she did. It'll set an
Oh, that's Asmongold being a fucking white supremacist.
Example for them.
Do what? Be in a car around ICE agents?
Jesus Christ, bro. So fucking loud. Oh, well, but he literally said the same thing Cory Booker was saying about ICE not being a left or right issue, but being a moral one. So we have reports of another shooting. City of Minneapolis tweeted this out saying, "We are aware of reports of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in North Minneapolis. We are working to confirm additional details." Somebody posted this. Minneapolis federal enforcement is on scene at North Lindell Avenue and 25th Avenue Wednesday night. The city of Minneapolis posted on social media what we just read. A KARE 11 photographer on the scene says a crowd has gathered at the scene and it is tense with protesters using horns and whistles. At least one ambulance was leaving the area. There is a large presence of both federal agents and local police. I saw somebody mention that if it was an undocumented individual, that surely ICE would have followed that transportation, right? Or followed the medical team, but apparently they didn't. So it might have been, another citizen. And I don't say that to put some distinction or to create this false sense of hierarchy between the lives of undocumented people and quote unquote citizens. But the reason why I say that is because, hold on, I'm looking this up right here. Oh shit, what the fuck? Hold on, let's watch this. Sorry, I'll explain myself right now. Chaos on the scene after reports of a person from Venezuela shot in the leg by ICE agents after they said they were attacked by a shovel in North Minneapolis. I will say this, I don't advocate adventurism, but watching all these videos, you do realize how completely unprepared they are for any true form of resistance. Major Lasers, that's funny that you mentioned that because I tried listening to them a while ago, and I couldn't because I kept forgetting that I was watching their stream because they just contribute like nothing, absolutely nothing. Um, so I guess maybe there's just no medium, but that's just me. But yeah, there's and you see this consistently, like their position is so compromised. It's not like I'm a military expert or anything shit like that. But they're able to do dumb shit like this because they know that there's no actual consequence or no equal exchange of force that they have to concern themselves about. Oh, the reason why I was saying about documented and undocumented is because to highlight the fact that it is not necessarily about documentation, as we're very well aware of, but that it's about just like anything else, police brutality, police killing. Let me see if I could find one more thing. Hold on. It should have been here. That's weird. I don't think I'm going to find it. Yeah, my apologies. But it was kind of a map showing the movement of, or maybe not even the movement, but the location of the hospital, the nearest hospital in that area. And I thought that was fairly interesting, but I don't think I saved it on here. My apologies. I fucking like too much dumb shit. I was really thinking about removing all of the shit that I've posted on Twitter to just make my search capabilities easier. Let me do one last thing and then we'll go from there. Shooting ice. I really like that map. I thought that was an interesting insight. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find anything new. Wait, what? Hold on, let me pull this up.
Officer and reports of another shooting in Minneapolis involving federal agents. Now, this is coming a week after the shooting death of Renee Good inside her car by an ICE officer, and days after confrontations between ICE and the public on American streets. CNN is on its way to the scene as we speak, where protesters are gathering. But just moments ago, we received the first initial Homeland Security account of what happened in this incident. DHS says that officers were conducting a targeted stop involving an undocumented immigrant when the suspect fled. Now, during that struggle, 2 other people came out of a nearby apartment and allegedly attacked the officer with a shovel.
I mean, if somebody's trying to kidnap you, you should be able to defend yourself with whatever's available to you. But are we really going to believe this shit? I mean, just recently, right? CBS reports that CBS ICE internal bleeding. I don't know if you all saw this. By CBS News, ICE agent who shot Renee Good suffered internal bleeding. Officials say, very wise, y'all. Very fucking wise.
DHS says fearing for his life.
Why isn't this playing suddenly? Oh, here we go.
Now, during that struggle, 2 other people came out of a were conducting a targeted stop involving an undocumented immigrant when the suspect fled. Now, during that struggle, 2 other people came out of a nearby apartment and allegedly attacked the officer with a shovel. DHS says fearing for his life, the officer fired shots, hitting one person in the leg. The statement does go on to criticize the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and also the mayor of Minneapolis.
All right, so this is complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit then. Complete bullshit.
Using them.
And I only say that because if you're taking time out of your statement to criticize Tim Walz instead of highlighting the injuries or the actual situation of the attack, alleged attack that ICE was facing, that would have been the primary focus of the statement.
Of, quote, encouraging an organized resistance to ICE. The governor tonight issuing a demand for Donald Trump.
Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement.
So in other words, if it would have remained a matter of immigration enforcement, all good, huh, Timmy? All good. All good, Timmy. Go ahead, call your National Guard, your locally fucking produced, locally sourced National Guard to smash in the heads of anti-ICE protesters. Please, please, please. Add fuel to this fire like you did for BLM. It will raise a lot of concerns of why you were willing to call your National Guard on BLM protesters, but suddenly now it's going to be an issue that you practice restraint.
Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government.
Organized brutality. Yes, the state has a monopoly on violence, but I'm sorry, when don't the pigs, regardless of what they call themselves, the local PD or ICE, anything in between, when do they not participate in organized violence?
Campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government. But as bad as it's been, Donald Trump intends for it to get worse. This week, he went online to promise that, quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming. So tonight, let me say once again to Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, end this occupation. You've done enough.
The Democratic.
Have you, motherfucker? Have you done enough to bring an end to this? Let's see it, homie. A well-regulated militia is a right granted by the Constitution. You're willing to deploy the National Guard on BLM protesters. Why not deploy the National Guard on ICE? Of course that's ridiculous. Of course that would never fucking happen. That's a fucking civil war right then and there. But also, why would they when they serve the same fucking purpose? When they serve the same fucking objective? But of course, we'll start right now with the Majority Report video. I don't have much time left to stream. But we gotta laugh at liberals pretending that somehow pigs are gonna save the day from fascism.
Democratic leader of the House is also now warning Trump officials that incitement and engagement of state violence is a crime. And, quote, you are hereby put on notice. He was responding to this clip that was being recirculated by the administration today. Listen.
To all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. No one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear.
Wait, Hakeem Jeffries was like opposed to this? This is what every fucking local pig knows. Every local pig knows that they have immunity and protection. How is this anything fucking new? Maybe they don't have it on the federal level, but the state level, they certainly have that. Unless it's like literally recorded, and even that's going to be questioned. Even then, the rest of the fucking white settlers, Euro-Americans, are going to fundraise for them.
That if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice.
It seems pretty clear that this situation in Minneapolis continues to boil over, and it's gotten to a point where it is almost.
This is what it is. I was about to give a compliment, but I believe this individual or this show hosts Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland quite a bit. So fuck them. And it's CNN, so come on.
You can see that there are so many ways that this could be tamped down, but everything seems to be tamping it up. Where does this end?
I think the scary thing.
Okay, I know why I might be biased, but I was gonna say I really do like the delivery. I don't know. I feel like too many fucking pundits have like no fucking presence, or their delivery is just a little off, too monotone, or too like, I don't know. But I like the delivery here. But yes, the most like stern fucking tweet ever. You've been warned. Hakeem Jeffries. Reminder to all members of the Trump administration: the incitement and engagement in state violence against the American people is a serious crime. Donald Trump will leave office long before the 5-year statute of limitation expires. You are hereby put on notice. Yeah, like, wait. Forget the Pied Piper strategy of Hillary Clinton propping up Trump because she thought he was an easy victory. Forget the media being complicit in it. The idea that the Democratic Party would hold Donald Trump accountable, especially after Trump will leave office long before the 5-year status of limitation expires. After they will hold him accountable for anything. Obama already made it clear that no matter what a Republican president does, no matter what war crimes he commits, they will not be held accountable. The Democratic Party under Biden made it clear that they will play politics instead of holding Donald Trump accountable for his incitement of an insurrection. So what the fuck is this, man? What the fuck? Look, I'll be very vague about this. There was an incident at work, or it wasn't an incident, it could have been an incident, where I was cool, calm, and collected because I don't take this shit serious. Somebody got offended. I asked them, well, how would you like me to word it next time? And they refused to answer because they were in their feelings. And they kept getting aggressive and using obscene vocabulary that a man of my class and upbringing would never dare to mouth and speak. No, they were just talking shit, and I was just like, okay. Took off my hoodie, took off that, and I was like, would you like to resolve this? And they said no, and I was like, okay then. And I couldn't understand why they kept yapping. I couldn't understand why they kept mouthing off. I couldn't understand why they kept cursing me out. I couldn't understand why they were dogging me after refusing to solve the issue in the most toxic masculine manner available. Because apparently words were insufficient for a discussion. So there's other ways of communicating. And they kept yapping after refusing. And I'm only bringing this up not to brag. It was stupid of me. I should have been the bigger person. But I say that because once you refuse to do something about it, the barking, the yapping is meaningless. It's meaningless. You already rejected my very friendly offer of conflict resolution 101. And what I'm getting at is the fact that the Democratic Party is now with Hakeem Jeffries, who's, leading the party now after Pelosi. The fact that he's like, you're hereby put on notice. They attempted to overthrow the Democratic election. You did fuck all. You're not going to do shit now. You're not going to do shit later. Because when it was time to square up, you folded. Because you want to make sure that if a Democratic president ever gets a little charismatic with their power, that your party isn't held accountable either. It's that simple. It's all that simple. You all want to have the last word. I don't know. In those situations, I really don't talk. But yes, circa before strongly worded statement. Fucking A. Hakeem Jeffries, I will speak to your manager. Oh, Thoribio. That is nice. That is nice. You are correct. You know what? I'm horrible at puns, so I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. You're the. I want to pin you. I pinned the previous one because thought it's fucking hilarious that people are actually seeing it, witnessing the idea that, you know, Sam Piker plays both sides because he's a counterinsurgent propagandist. Well, he will wag his finger at liberals for not wanting a better world, to take action to create that world while sitting on his ass. And then he'll wag his finger at actual people on the left, like socialists, communists, and anarchists, for daring to get off their ass and try to create a better world. But upon it, you know, because I'm so bad at puns, it supersedes any political analysis or media analysis or anything really. A pun around here will get you far. Well, keep talking. You're going to lose the midterms. Empty words. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking A, man. To still remain in the electoral bubble is something very, very admirable. Let me see here. We'll cover that tomorrow because I need to find something. But this is too fucking funny. We'll wrap up with this.
But not so much that it actually comes to me. Yeah. Chuck Schumer is like the guy or the kid who's playing baseball and is sitting out in the field, and he is just sitting there going, please don't hit the ball to me. Please don't hit the ball to me. Please don't hit the ball to me.
That's your Democratic Party leadership, bro. That's the party that you've advocated for. That's the party that you support. That's the party that you phone bank with. And that's about it. Sam Cedar, in 2 decades of the Majority Report, 20 years, has not engaged in any political organization to any degree other than phone banking for Bernie Sanders, a National Socialist Zionist. Adds up.
Please don't hit the ball to me. That's what Chuck Schumer's doing. The problem is that, like, you're the only person in the field. Like, the ball, if the ball's hit, you've got to deal with it. And he so desperately, like, Chuck Schumer went to bed every night for the past 5-6 weeks saying, please let there be no controversy until we get to this government shutdown vote. Please let there be no controversy until we get there. I don't want to be forced to actually exercise any of the leverage we have.
Yep.
Now, the House just passed an appropriation.
But that's what they've always done, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? How are you more informed about the Democratic Party's inner workings than I ever will be? And you're still acting like this is some fucking a new thing by Schumer. He's always been this fucking spineless opportunist. And you've continued year after year, midterm after midterm, election after election to support the Democratic Party. But keep wagging your fucking finger.
Appropriations bill, instead of doing it like
I'm sure that when Schumer retires, the Democratic Party will change. I'm sure when Alejandra Ocasio-Cortez will take over his seat, then the Democratic Party is going to change. I'm sure of it, but keep on your political project.
And one big reconciliation thing, because now the House just passed an appropriations bill. Instead of doing it like in one big reconciliation thing, because they want to avoid that, they passed partial appropriations for, like, I think it was like the EPA, Interior, a couple of other agencies. More or less, there's definitely some cuts, but more or less, the equivalent of a continuing resolution.
Rejecting
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Trump's calls for more steep cuts.
And
let's get to it, because goddamn, bro. I'm sorry, right now this reminded me of, like, growing up, I wanted to be a dinosaur. Okay, let's hear this.
Schumer says
Senator, do you have any comment on the?
See, this is why I need to make a lot of money. I appreciate y'all supporting the Patreon. Check it out if you want access to Discord, you want to support the channel, you want to see it grow. I really do just want to have more time to create edited videos. But the real reason why I want to make more money doing off of this is so that I could be so fucking lazy that I need to have a production team. And I can't hit play on the video, so I could do this. Look at this.
And on the other hand, Chuck Schumer says,
look how he looks over at his employee. Mind you, this is a fucking boss. These are his employees. Look.
On video that we can see. And on the other hand, Chuck Schumer says,
and then looks over. Come on, don't leave me hanging, bro. We gotta be in sync here.
That we can see.
Your boss.
And on the other hand, Chuck Schumer says,
he looks over. Your boss is like, you better fucking hit that button. You better hit play right now. I will replace you like I replace others. Yeah, and a co-host someday. Yeah, a co-host that's never gonna threaten my popularity or my political positions. Name me one time that Emma Vigeland has debated fucking Sam Cedar, like actually fucking gone at it with him over a political disagreement. Never happened. That's why she's the most bland fucking piece of bread in the entire Wonder Bread tube. That's why you hired her. Just completely fucking uncharismatic creature. If Emma Vigeland did not have connections to TYT through her parents' Democratic Party's, donation, right? Because they were big donors for the Democratic Party. If she didn't enter for TYT, if she didn't align with Cenk Uygur against the TYT unions, if Sam Cedar wasn't so terrified of somebody overshadowing him, like Michael Brooks had, rest in peace, our great white savior. That's why he push out Jamie Peck. I don't like Jamie Peck. The vocal fry kills me. But without question, she was, her boss was harassing her. Without question, she worked in a very hostile work environment because she dared to voice any opposition to Sam Cedar. And Sam Cedar, there's two things he can't stand. One is black people, and two is opinionated woman. So he created a hostile work environment, essentially forcing her to quit. And he hired this bland, uncharismatic, unopinionated, at least no opinion that goes against Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland. And if you have any doubt about that, remember, Emma Vigeland refused to support the TYT union unionization efforts because she didn't want to rock the boat. You think this talentless hack, uncharismatic, no personality, bland piece of bread is going to oppose Sam Cedar and risk her job for one fucking relevance to let the world know that she exists? Because somebody like this should leave no fucking footprint on earth, should leave nothing worth remembering, because they have nothing to contribute to any discussion. You're being a sexist, you're a machista. Fuck her, bro. She accused me of being anti-Semitic. The gloves are off. Fuck her and her whole fucking DNC family affiliated individuals. But here we go. Let's start this.
Senator, do you have any comment on the shooting?
Oh, somebody said, rest in peace, Bradley. You know what I think? Bradley was white, but he was like a spicy white. Like he was a little too ethnic for Sam Cedar. But damn, Sam Cedar fucking hated that food too. Thank you so much. It's not off topic. Thank you. Well, I was off topic. The cop said turn off the body cams. Is Christopher Polis? Let's see. Paulus. What type of last name is Police? Oh no, I know what you're talking about. I don't think this is it. This is the one that I'm talking about was like a briefing. Like they were like in a huddle. Yeah, I remember this one. This one was gnarly. This is actually pretty fucking funny. Because very quickly, um, you're reminded of what happens to good cops. Look at this. Look at this idiot thinking that she was like, you're taking it too far, chief. You're doing too much. Look at it. She grabs him because he's fucking abusing somebody. She's like, we're good cops, remember?
Do what you gotta do.
Oh, come on. You don't want all this. You don't want all this. We don't want to see some pig on pig violence over here. We don't see some war hogs go after each other. It's right here.
Never get disrespectful with my officer. Go from your fucking body. Do what you gotta do. No.
Just let it be.
Just let it be. Just let him beat the shit out of somebody that we've captured, somebody that we handcuffed. Just let it be. Just let it be. It's like, sir, look, this fucking idiot thought she was like fucking Zootopia or some shit. She's like, we're morals. We have standards. We're better than ICE. Look at this fucking idiot. Look at it. She's like, oh shit, he's abusing him. Let me stop it. Everyone else is just like, yeah, this is what we do. Look at this. This is a majority fan listener that believes the cops are good people.
Never get disrespectful with my officer. Go from your fucking body. Do what you gotta do.
Here comes the big show. Homegirl's gonna get fucking choke slam. No, this is more like Goldberg. He should have definitely speared her. Yeah, this is Goldberg for sure. She's going for a ride. Posey is Italian. Oh, the anglized version of Pugliese. Wow. Oh yeah, I had to show you this. I normally wouldn't do this, but this is too fucking funny. This is too fucking funny. Where's millennials at? If y'all haven't seen this already, my conversation with Jared. Millennials are killing capitalism. I cannot figure out how I managed to get my Cyclops statue lighting. Oh well, I can't replicate it. But this shit was too funny. I hope he didn't. It should be down here somewhere, right? I hope he didn't delete it. Come on, Jared. Say no to censorship. What? No. Newest. I hope they didn't delete it. Jared, I hope he didn't delete that. Somebody accused me of being anti-Italian. Too fucking funny. That shit had me dying. Oh well. Ooh. Oh well. Damn, that shit was too fucking funny. And then they claimed that I was affiliated with the Sureños. Oh. My nerdy ass has never been accused of being affiliated with anyone. Hold on. I think the dog's hungry. Okay, let's just wrap up here. Because he usually eats at 9. We'll wrap up. Okay.
In Minnesota, dice ball shooting.
Well, I saw the...
Yeah. Oh, you saw that, Eduardo? Claiming that I was anti-Italian. Like, who gives a shit? And 2, asking my thoughts on the Mexican mafia, specifically the Sureños, affiliations with neo-Nazi white supremacist groups in prison. Homie, I don't like to share a lot about my childhood, but it's a very strict regiment, and there was no way I was allowed to be affiliated in any way. The consequences at home were going to be more dire than anything the state could have done against me. And despite the negatives about that, I'm grateful that I don't have a record. I was never affiliated. I don't have any, little ones running around. I got no ops in real life, so that works in my favor. I'm very grateful. Now as an adult, I did miss out on some more shenanigans. I did my best to get into them. Um, but if you knew the origin story, you'd understand why it was all necessary. And I had to kind of, as an adult, be more understanding of certain restrictions because it was a very thin line. Very, very thin line. Anywho, that had me dying. Asking me about sureños had me fucking dying, bro. Never in my life did I think that a European was gonna say that I wasn't Mexican. That was the first time in my life. In my life, I was like, "What?" Like, I've- nobody's ever said I wasn't Mexican. That was wild. And then I've never been asked my opinions on the Sureños prison culture and affiliations. You know what? It really made me love streaming. It really made me appreciate being here. Um, because I couldn't get that in real life. Nobody would accuse me of either of those things in real life. This internet shit is beautiful, and I'm glad to be here.
The video, it just turns your stomach. We need a quick and full investigation to get to the bottom of this. But when you have these ICE agents all over the streets of our cities without any cooperation with local law enforcement, local communities, tragedies, horrible tragedies, killings occur.
Wait. We need to get to the bottom of this? Where's the mystery? What's the mystery here? What is the mystery that we need to get to the bottom of? And what is he talking about?
Tragedies
when
happen.
You don't have cooperation. So wait, he has a problem with New York City being a sanctuary city? Like what is
the law?
Is this a problem of a lack of cooperation from Minneapolis PD? If they had
Holy shit, bro. I love this fake outrage. A Democrat wants a police state? He wants our good police officers to work with these savage ICE officers? What? Hold on a minute. Bro, I've never seen, call me anti-Semitic, I don't give a fuck. I've never seen like a Woody Allen movie. But I mean, from what, the clips and shit, this has to be basically the same level of acting, right? Like just trash acting.
sanctuary city?
Look at this.
Like what is the law? Is this a problem of a lack of cooperation from Minneapolis PD? If they had cooperated, what? Like what the hell is he saying? Is he not?
Bro, first of all, when you're really angry, you're not stopping to do this. You're not looking around the room. You're like, So fucking performative. This is why you couldn't make it in Hollywood, pal.
Not aware that there is a paramilitary, 2,100 paramilitary fighters have been dropped into Minneapolis.
Airdropped. Mind you, I'm laughing at this because they're going out of their way to make a distinction between the fucking regular pigs that they are so desperate to have around them because they're scared of black and brown people. They're scared of poor people. And ICE. This is why I'm mocking this. This is why I'm laughing at this. Because they're making some fake hierarchy of like, oh, these are the good overseers and these are the bad overseers. Oh, these are the good oppressors. These are the bad oppressors. Oh, see, this type of boot flavor is actually my favorite. It's my preferred one. The laces, exquisite. But ICE boots? Ugh. ICE boots? That's barbaric. That's undercooked. That's a little too bloody for me, thank you very much. But I will take the Iraq war veteran. Thank you. Oh, and Afghanistan. Oh, and the mercenary. Yes, that boot. That year is great. That year is great. Oh, what was that? Jonathan Ross was hired in what, like 2015? Oh, he served in Iraq as well? No. He's He's a violent creature. He's a violent man.
A city of 450,000 people who are masked and seemingly people
this is so
dropped
fake.
into Minneapolis.
Look at this face.
A city of 450,000 people
Gotta be moody.
who are masked and seemingly have no accountability to anyone. And the problem is
mask. Still with the mask bullshit. Holy fuck.
a city of 450,000 people who are masked and
can you believe they're masked? I can't wait till the Democratic Party rids themselves of the masks. What is this, Watchmen? Why do they have secret identities? Pigs kill people bare fucking face. What, every other day? Come on.
and seemingly have no accountability to anyone. And the problem is there's a lack of cooperation from what?
Can we play it again, actually? I'm sorry. I just want to get the passive language down here.
Sure. Do you have any comment on the shooting in Minnesota, the Ice shooting?
Well, I saw the video. It just turns your stomach. We need a quick and full investigation to get to the bottom of this. But when you have these ICE agents all over the streets of our cities without any cooperation with local law enforcement, local communities, tragedies, horrible tragedies, killings occur.
But see, he says cooperation with local law enforcement or communities, which is like a standard liberal approach to it all. Community policing. Oh, we need to make sure that the overseers are connecting with the community and no longer seeing them as enemies. But they need to show up to the schools. They need to go to the events. We need to bring that community feeling back to policing. Utter fucking bullshit. Fundamentally, the same fucking shit that Sam and Emma, glorify. But they have to fake the outrage right now. And in doing so, uplifting and glorifying the police. This is propaganda.
You know what? It's not a coincidence that he sounds exactly like some sort of Israeli official describing a child being killed in the West Bank or something like that.
Where to start? Where to fucking start? What did I say about Hassan last time? That Chuck Schumer sounds like some type of Israeli official. Mind you, if I were to make that statement, Emma Vigeland would call me anti-Semitic because they both happen to be Jewish. Right? No. Chuck Schumer sounds like an average American politician siding with an authoritarian fucking police force. Sounds like an average fucking politician. Having leeway and leaving it vague and open and his support for the pigs, regardless of what fucking title the pig has. Very standard. You don't need to go and point at fucking the Zionist entity. You don't need to do that. This is a very fucking American apple pie fucking shit right here. Mind you, these are liberal Zionists to begin with. They don't oppose the existence of Zionist politicians. They just oppose when they're a little too aggressive or too blunt about what Zionism entails and requires. But to make the comparison, going out of your way, the iDubbbz, mocked BDS and the image and the symbol of a Palestinian child being handcuffed. And it's like one of the many reasons why I can't stand that white supremacists and anyone that supports them, like Anthony from Don't Worry About It. I don't have my favorite white people. I dislike all of them. So, with that in mind, to go out of your way to compare the murdering of a Palestinian child to Renee Good, a grown-ass white woman, I think Renee Good would be rolling in her fucking grave out of sheer embarrassment of that comparison. Renee Good is rolling in her fucking grave, Emma Vigeland, because you compared her murder to the murder of Palestinian children. You compared a colonizer that was willing to betray whiteness to the murder of an indigenous Palestinian child. That's how I know that this means nothing to you. That these are just talking points. These are buzzwords to you. Because in what fucking world do you compare? And this is no disrespect to Renee Good. It really isn't. But I think she would have secondhand embarrassment. The same way that you embarrass your boss, Sam Cedar, when you try accusing me of being anti-Semitic, when you pull the race card on his behalf or the anti-Semitic card on his behalf. The same fucking way you are embarrassing the ghost of Renee Good by comparing her murder to the murder of a Palestinian child. Compare the murder of any fucking white adult to an indigenous child, regardless of the fucking situations, is abhorrent. But this is all for fucking points. This is all for dunking. This is all for internet bullshit. That's why look at her fucking face, bro. Did I do good? Did I do good? Fucking vile. Look at her fucking
You know
face.
what? You know, it's not a coincidence that he sounds exactly like some sort of Israeli official.
Look at her face. She's trying not to laugh. What the fuck?
You know, it's not a coincidence that he sounds exactly like.
Watch. Look. She's smirking. She's smirking. Why?
Some sort of Israeli official just.
Bro, she's so desperate to like get giggles or applause or praise from the room.
Describing a child being
literally laughing about a Palestinian child being murdered by the Zionist entity. Literally laughing.
Like some sort of Israeli official describing a child being killed in the West Bank
It
or
took
something
no time
like that.
for this to come back to us. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian. Ta-Nehisi Coates' statement.
This fucking idiot, Matt Leck. Oh, we'll get to this right now. And she didn't get the reaction she wanted, so she's a little upset. She's like, you stepped on my amazing comparison. What are you doing, Matt? This was my moment. This is my clip. Look how upset she is. She's more upset that Matt Leck stepped on her little fucking dumbass moment, her little comparison, literally using the death of Palestinian children for a viral moment. She's more upset at Matt stepping on her moment than she is of the actual murder of Renee Good. Definitely the mass murder of Palestinian children, since she kept her Zionist therapist for months. She's more mad at that, bro. Look at her fucking face. Why would you go from this to this? What changed from this, her laughing about a hypothetical, I'm sure I wouldn't even call it hypothetical because it's happened. There are Zionist politicians that downplay the mass murder of Palestinian children, for sure. I don't think that's funny, but she does. What made her go from this, laughing about Zionist politicians downplaying of the murder of Palestinian children, to this? Chat, explain it to me. Leave it in the comments. Please tell me what changed from this to this. The thing that changed was that Matt Leck stepped on her fucking moment. This is why she brushes her hair to the side, because she wants to look good for the camera in this.
Killed in the West Bank or something.
Killed in the West Bank or something. Look, I got the fucking hair for something, right? I got the fucking hair for something, don't I? This shit's all fucking matted down right now. But look, where are we? I'll do it. Look at this fucking monster, bro. Laughing at the death of Palestinian children.
You know what? You know, it's not a coincidence that he sounds exactly like some sort of Israeli official describing a child being
murdered, a Palestinian child. The fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly like some sort of Israeli official.
Look,
You know, it's not a coincidence that he.
Look, she's pretending to be mad here. She's like, oh, I'm disgusted. And then immediately goes to.
Sounds exactly like.
Laughing. Look how sadistic her fucking face is, bro. Yes, it's all misogyny. Yes, calling out her fucking seller DNA inclinations. And mind you, her boss doesn't even give a shit, bro. He's like, yeah. Look at this. Look at her fucking psychotic creature, bro.
Some sort of Israeli official describing a child being
laughing, bro.
Killed in the West Bank
It
or
took
something
no time
like that.
for this to come back to us. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian. Ta-Nehisi Coates' statement.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. She is so mad that she couldn't have her moment. Look at this shit, bro.
Being killed in the West Bank or
It took
something
no time
like that.
for this to come back to us.
Palestinian child killed in the West Bank. Oh my god.
Describing a child being killed
in the West Bank. Can you believe it? A child killed in the West Bank.
In the West Bank
It
or
took
something
no time
like that.
for this to come back to
Fucking disgusting, soulless creature. And look why she gets mad.
to us. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian. Ta-Nehisi Coates' statement at the start of this.
Oh my god, bro. This person will do anything for fame, anything for attention. Holy fuck, this person's dangerous, bro. Oh, this is great. This is great. This is priceless. Ah, wow. That is good. That is some good shit right there.
Killed in the West Bank
It
or
took
something
no time
like that.
for this to come back to us. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian. Ta-Nehisi Coates' statement at the start of this. We are at a moment right now where people are asking themselves, why can't the Democratic Party defend against this assault on democracy?
She hates that so much. I love this shit. Oh man.
And I would submit that you,
Oh,
if
this,
the
sorry,
moment
sorry,
right
this
now where
fucking
people are
video.
asking,
Let's hear what Matt Lex says. Let's hear what Matt Lex says. He brings up Ta-Nehisi Coates, encouraging me to get that fucking video done. But okay, let's go. Ta-Nehisi Coates, y'all, still invited to the Jewish cookout or where the fuck they invited him to.
time
that.
for this to come back to us. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian.
Like talking to people who are outside of my race.
That's her hero, by the way. Anna Kasparian was her bestie, her mentor. Yes.
Ta-Nehisi Coates' statement at the start of this. We are at a moment right now where people are asking themselves, why can't the Democratic
She
Party
rolls her eyes. I'm sorry. I gotta move on. But look at her eyes.
I mean,
Look at her eyes.
Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian. Ta-Nehisi Coates' statement.
Look. Licks her lips. She's mad. Fucking asshole. Don't you know I'm a woman in a man's world?
At the start of this.
Look. Her non-existent lips.
We are at a moment
Rolls her eyes after this. Rolls her eyes immediately.
right now where people are asking themselves, why can't the Democratic Party defend against this assault on democracy? And I would submit that you, if you can't.
And Matt loves this fucking quote here. Because for him, Ta-Nehisi Coates isn't a scary black man. He's a safe one. He doesn't feel threatened by him. Because I'm sure Matt is telling Sam Cedar, like, hey, please don't. Not in studio. They make me nervous. These fucking people are proactively keep the online space white and proactively keep their workplace, their real life workplace white. It's not by accident. They're in the fucking East Coast. They're broadcasting out of where are they at? It's Brooklyn. Out of fucking Brooklyn. And they've maintained a fucking all-white show. Brandon does not count. Not because he's a sellout, not because he's a comprador, but because he's not in studio.
Can't draw the line at genocide, you probably can't draw the line at democracy. You can't.
You can't.
And Chuck Schumer will never be able to.
And I mean, that's unbelievable. Lack of cooperation with local law enforcement. He's basically criticizing the city of Minneapolis and leadership there as well for essentially.
Yeah, the ones allowing ICE to fucking come into the communities without any pushback. Besides wordly strongly worded speeches. But he brings up this fucking quote by Ta-Nehisi Coates. We are at a moment right now where people are asking themselves, why can't the Democratic Party defend against this assault on democracy? And I would submit to you that if you can't draw the line at genocide, you probably can't draw the line at democracy. I'm sorry. Is the genocide of Palestinians the first time that the U.S. has supported, armed, covered for, and carried out a genocide? Of course not. This is fucking stupid ass, hollow ass, ahistorical. This motherfucker's Ta-Nehisi Coates is saying to Ezra Klein that he needs to expand his historical awareness. This fucking quote makes no sense unless you have like no history or knowledge of the history of the US. Of course, the Democratic Party or any American institution cannot uphold democracy because it was founded on genocide. I don't know. It was a really popular quote that Ta-Nehisi Coates had while pushing his new book, Business Baby. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
We'll never be able to.
And I mean, that's unbelievable. Lack of cooperation with local law enforcement. He's basically criticizing the city of Minneapolis and leadership there as well for essentially.
They're going to be celebrating. They're going to be celebrating when ICE starts to coordinate with pigs. And when pigs are going to be right there just making sure ICE is doing everything in the up and up. They're going to be celebrating that shit. I promise you. When the Democrat pushes that, they're going to be celebrating that shit.
Cops should be more coordinating with ICE. That's the problem here. Not the fact that they are functionally, as AOC said, we played this in the fun half yesterday. They are a paramilitary force, to your point, that is an anti-civilian force at this.
And the pigs aren't. And the pigs aren't. What the fuck?
They are a paramilitary force, to your point, that is an anti-civilian force at this point. At this point.
Not under Biden, not under Obama, but at this point. They always were. You were just able to ignore the fucking screams. It didn't affect you. It wasn't on your fucking timeline. They always were. Some of us had to fucking see our family members deal with that shit.
They shouldn't be cooperating with local law enforcement. Schumer should be empowering, through his rhetoric, local law enforcement to go after ICE. Arrest them. His messaging, I mean, like, and I just want to emphasize this point in case people are just...
What delusional world do liberals live in where they think Chuck Schumer was going to be using the fucking pulpit, using his platform to call for the police, the pigs, to arrest ICE agents? In what world does that even happen when they serve the same fucking purpose? Oppression. Oppressing non-white and those white people that betray whiteness, those unruly motherfuckers. That's what they're there to oppress. To maintain a white supremacist settler colonial project. They all from fucking pig to pig, no matter what their fucking title is.
We're just watching this clip and didn't see our interview with Jeet here. Elizabeth Warren is standing right next to him. She's a part of that so-called fight club that's in the Democratic Party right now in the Senate that supposedly is building up an alternative vision of leadership for the Democrats. The time is now. The time is now to call for his ouster. I know they're probably still building up the power that they need. They're still trying to get other senators on board, but
the time is now not to organize and combat fascism. The time is now to replace Chuck Schumer. That's how we're gonna fight fascism. Look, and Sam's like, oh brother, I gotta see Chuck at the next Zionist meeting. Oh God. Oh, oof, me and Chuck are gonna plan our retirement homes in the Zionist entity. Oh, it's all right. Won't be on an apartheid state anymore, though.
But I know they're probably still building up the power that they need. They're still trying to get other senators on board. But my God, Republicans make a spectacle about their internal disagreement, and it has affected them nada electorally. Nothing. In fact,
she looks like she knows Spanish. She says like bad empanada.
About their internal disagreement, and it has affected them nada electorally.
What? Hold on. What does that word mean? Nada. Nada. What was that? Nada?
Nada.
What is that? Oh, it means not. Holy. What language is this? What language? What? Oh, it's Spanish? Whoa. How does she know Spanish? I thought she was a Norwegian. Wow.
God. Republicans make a spectacle about their internal disagreement, and it has affected them nada electorally. Nothing. In fact,
she looks like democracy.
In fact, internal disagreement, and it has affected them nada electorally. Nothing. In fact,
she looks like democracy.
My culture is not your verbal costume. This is almost as bad as the Vanguard. And they're look at these little white supremacists. Look at these little white supremacists. Hold on, look at these little white supremacists. Shit. They actually, and bro, look, this is how fucking racist these fucking rap bastards are. They made it look like a fucking. Look at this house. You see it? It's like, oh yeah, Casa de Vanguard, Del Vanguard. Yeah, bro. I can't. Yeah, these are foods that I'm down to run that shit any day, bro. Look at the fucking stereotypical shit, bro. These people are fucking racist through and through. And they're like the white people that love ICE and hate immigrants, but will call their like little pet dogs some Spanish ass name.
Internal disagreement, and it has affected them nada electorally. Nothing. In fact,
it looks like democracy.
In fact, it looks like democracy. It's a performance of it. You get yourself in the news cycle. Trump sparring with other Republicans. They've rode that to success. Air this disagreement out publicly because it looks like you're responding to the overwhelming base that wants you to rein in these lawless thugs. The numbers on this are responding to the overwhelming base that yes. Air this disagreement out publicly because it looks like you're responding to the overwhelming base that wants you to rein in these lawless thugs. The numbers.
She's literally talking about aesthetics. She's talking about aesthetics. I know it sounds like she might be saying something profound, but she's talking about aesthetics. She's like, it looks like
you're responding to the Republicans. They've rode that to success. Air this disagreement out publicly because it.
Air this disagreement out publicly because it looks like you're actually, representing your constituents or care about what they want. It's all aesthetics. She's raging out about aesthetics, not even any true material change. She's raging out, performing rage for aesthetics, for the illusion. Wow.
Sparring with other Republicans. They've rode that to success. Air this disagreement out publicly because it looks like you're responding to the overwhelming base that wants you to rein in these lawless thugs. The number
looks like you're responding to your base, bro. It looks like you're responding to your base. Not that you actually are, but it'll look like it. This is how desperate this shit is.
On this are staggering. An over 20-point increase in abolishing ICE in less than a year. And that's what the leader of the Democrats saying the problem is that local law enforcement isn't collaborating with ICE. So
Mamdani doesn't support abolishing ICE. AOC doesn't support abolishing ICE. They all abandoned that shit. And you all co-signed their abandoning of it. Abandonment of it? Abandonment of it.
The news cycle and show that you'll be an opposition party. Call for his ouster. I'm sorry if it's awkward in the meetings. I'm sorry if it's not the right time because we still have the partial budget negotiations over the appropriations. Actually, it might be the best time.
Well, that's the thing, is he wants to ignore the existence of what is happening because he has the ability.
Look how happy he is to talk again. Look how happy he is to talk again. Look how happy he gets to talk again.
We still have the partial budget negotiations over the appropriations. Actually, it might be the best time.
Well, that's the thing, is he wants to ignore the existence of what is happening because he has the ability to wage a fight to prevent the funding of DHS. I mean, yes. He has the ability to do this, and he doesn't want it. He is running away from any leverage he has deliberately. And so, we've got to be measured about this. We've got to be measured. They have literally... Understand, they did not.
Okay, hold on.
Not shoot this person because they thought this person was a criminal, undocumented immigrant. They did not shoot this person because they thought this person was an undocumented immigrant.
Because that'd be understandable, right, Sam? That'd be understandable in that case.
They did not shoot this person. They shot this person because they saw this person as a citizen who was pushing back against what they were doing.
Yep.
That means that. And they can take these steps. They've killed undocumented immigrants in their facilities.
Yeah.
We know that. They are just moving down the line.
People that matter to Sam Cedar. To real human beings.
Anybody who gets in their way is going to face either being just scooped up, detained, shot, beaten, whatever it is. This is going on, and he is trying to hide from it. Does he have a problem with
Yeah, you care so much that you need to look at your notes. to make a fucking point. I do want to say this. Hold on. Then we'll wrap up from here. Oh, this is too fucking funny. Yes. Hold on. This is too fucking good. Oh, here it is. I forgot about this. This is too fucking good. We gotta watch this. Do they hype this dumbass up? Let's see.
To hide from it. Does he have a problem with
literally where we stopped? All right, watch this. This is so fucking pathetic.
Here's Philadelphia DA Larry Krasner. Now, if Chuck Schumer says the problem is not enough cooperation from local law enforcement, does he have a problem with Krasner saying here?
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here.
Whoa.
Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia. You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you. And I know that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement officers out there by the bushel, including in ICE.
Including in ICE, bro. Including in ICE. Holy fucking shit. This is so performative. Now I know I'm just talking to the bad apples. I'm just talking to the naughty officers. I'm not talking to the good ones. And I know there's a lot of good ones. Look, I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. All that fucking chest beating for what?
Law applies to all of you. And I know that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement officers out there by the bushel, including in ICE. This is not for you. This is for any one of your colleagues who thinks they are above the law.
Understand that what that does.
All pigs are above the law.
Yep. In the same way that these ICE thugs shooting a defenseless woman in the face.
They're thugs, I tell you. Thugs. Criminals. And furthermore, Susan, I wouldn't be the least surprised if they all smoke marijuana cigarettes. Reefers.
Puts a chill and scares other protesters, or is meant to scare other protesters. What that does is say, there's accountability here that none of your bosses can save you from. Now, Chuck Schumer has the opportunity to say this type of thing too. If Chuck Schumer thinks in his mind that, well, we're going to take the House, maybe we'll take the Senate in the fall.
Whoa, what is this? This is a little anti-Semitic right here. Why did he start doing this for Chuck Schumer? Why did he start doing this for Chuck Schumer? That's a little anti-Semitic. The fuck is that?
If Chuck Schumer thinks in his mind that, well, we're going to take the House, maybe we'll take the Senate in the fall. You then have
I don't know, Sam. There's a little anti-Semitic there.
The ability, even putting aside his ability to shove a wrench in the gears of appropriations and money going to fund this. He has the ability to say, think twice. Because the day after we get sworn into office, we're going to haul your bosses up and we'll haul individual agents in front of Congress.
Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah, bro. It's totally going to fucking happen. The same way they held all the January 6th insurrectionists accountable. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Pass laws and we will hold you accountable. And it may take for 3 years from now. Maybe it'll take 6 months, a year from now. But you will go to jail. There will be no forgiveness. There will be no forgetting here.
Bro. The people trying to destroy your fucking democracy were let go or pardoned. The man who led it was able to become president because the Democratic Party is not going to hold him accountable for shit. What delusional fucking shit are they feeding their audience? About to be 2 million subscribers. About to be 2 fucking million subscribers. They're being fed this fucking delusion.
But the
now, and we will hold you accountable. And it may take for 3 years from now. Maybe it'll take 6 months, a year.
Maybe 6 months, maybe 3 years, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 decades, maybe 5, maybe 20, maybe 3 or 4 generations. But we're gonna get you
from now. But you will go to jail. There will be no forgiveness. There will be no forgetting here.
But the focus on the midterms.
I will neither forget nor forgive.
It's hard for me to know if it's an idea. If you're
ICE, you broke my heart. I cannot forgive you or forget that. I will not open my heart up to you again, ICE. I just can't do it. You're a cheater and a liar and a manipulator. You're a gaslighter, ICE. God damn.
Working backwards from your ideological predispositions to say that the midterms are the thing that you're focused on, or if you're genuinely convinced that standing up for your neighbors and immigrant communities is going to impact the midterms. Either way, the focus is so wrong, outdated, and has led us to this moment of fascism. When I had that debate on MSNBC with Catherine Rampell and the other guest that was...
Subtle brag. All right, we're done with this. They love being on MSNBC. Cinnamon by the bushel. Thank God. Yeah. Real savings, a real bargain, these moral pigs. Silly question, but did MR ever speak about Keith Porter? You know what? I don't know, but I failed to cover this. So I had this queued up in one of the streams because I thought I did. And then I was remembering that I did a disservice. And look, it's going to sound like an excuse. Bro, it takes me like 3 fucking hours to wake up. That's why I'm always late to the morning streams. And I realized that I regrettably did not mention Keith Porter in my conversation with Jared on Millennial Circulating Capitalism, and I take full accountability in that was my failure. It's the same way that I'm always going to regret not shouting out the Electronic Intifada when I debated Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland, and Matt Leck about their liberal Zionist propaganda. I just fucked up. And I try not to outline things. And it's, y'all hear me ramble and go in circles sometimes. This is my second strike. Like in my mind, this is like the second time where I failed to bring up and mention something that is, in my opinion, the most significant aspect of it all. I should have brought up the Electronic Intifada to highlight, the comparisons between the coverage, the liberal Zionist propaganda coverage that Emma and Sam and Matt Leck engage in on the Majority Report, comparing that to, Ali and the crew and the voices, the true Palestinian voices that they give space for there, and that their journalism is reported on. Like, that's forever going to haunt me. It really is. And the fact that we didn't have a deeper discussion, especially being out here in LA, about Keith Porter, I fucked up. So my sincere apologies to Keith Porter's memory, his family, and honestly to y'all. Like I fucked up, and I should have made sure that should have been the driving force of that conversation, especially when discussing, white supremacy. So yeah, and especially when this idea, and Muhammad Al-Kur talks a lot about this in terms of like the perfect victim. And again, I don't mean to disrespect her memory, but just we have to be blunt in so many ways. But one really was Renee Good, the perfect victim. So in terms of like, she was queer. I'm not sure if she was bi or a lesbian, but generally speaking, she's a queer woman. And you've seen how the right jumped on that. But for all intents and purposes, aside from that, a perfect victim. A mother, basically like not in a minivan, but an SUV, but with kids and all this stuff. Whereas that is easy to defend. that's, again, it's easy for a reason, because we don't find it challenging. Whereas these situations, like with Keith Porter, when things get a little uncomfortable, or maybe even we feel that it's ambiguous, that is what we need to promote and talk about even more, and show our solidarity, for Keith Porter, his family, but also against this authoritarian state, and these fucking pigs. So again, my apologies, and I appreciate the understanding in the chat, but at the end of the day, I failed. Northridge, Los Angeles community members in Northridge came together for a vigil on Sunday night in honor of a man shot and killed by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve. Authorities say the agent opened fire when the man pointed a rifle at him. Now, Northridge community members and activists are mourning his death, expressing outrage and demanding justice. Loved ones identified that man killed as 43-year-old Keith Porter, a father of two. Quote, "If I could say anything to the ICE agent, it's that you're a murderer. You stole my cousin from me. You stole their father from them," says just saying Tyler Porter's cousin. Quote, "You stole a black man of the planet that God ordained to live and thrive. You stole a human life, and you need to pay for it." And that is so true. And when we're reading like the Ruba, it's like there's got to be equal consequences. According to the Department of Homeland Security, the off-duty ICE agent heard gunfire near his apartment and went outside to check it out. That's when DHS says the officer encountered Porter holding a long rifle. Advocates say Porter was observing the holiday that night with gunfire. Quote, "You don't just get to murder people because you don't like what they're doing or how they're going, or they are doing or how they're celebrating," said Melina Abdullah, the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. The agent reportedly identified himself as law enforcement, and that's when DHS says Porter aimed a rifle at him. The agent then ordered Porter to put down the weapon, and when he didn't comply, the off-duty officer fired his ICE-authorized gun, which, okay, with the ICE-authorized gun, like, sure, like it fucking mattered. The agency claims Porter fired 3 rounds at the officer before he died. This is sad. This is sad, said the family friend, Bishop Jack Wilson. "I've lived here 35 years. This is the first time such a thing has happened in my community," said the neighbor, Judy Palashi. As Los Angeles police investigate what led up to the shooting, the community wants witnesses to come forward. They also want the ICE agents identified, arrested, and prosecuted for the killing of a man who they said was kind. Quote, "He was the life of the party. He was the one that always gave you encouragement. This was mainly his role, to put a smile on people's faces," Tyler said.
If you feel like you're on the wrong road with your finances,
so the reason why I want to highlight that is because Keith Porter's daughter's response to the lack of coverage of her father should be all over the news. Major Lazer, I have not seen. You know what? Actually, I think I might have seen her. She's like very soft spoken, if I'm not mistaken. Ace, yeah, I seen you call him out on that. The reason why I think this is really important is because people forget, like, California, Los Angeles is like should be part of the Wild Wild West. It was essentially as unrestricted about the Second Amendment as Texas and other of these, red Southern states that like are like, oh, you better, be respectful, you better watch your step. If Because everybody's caring. And then the Black Panthers dared to defend themselves against police brutality, and Reagan and the NRA said, nope, we can't have Black people having weapons, and means to defend themselves against state brutality, state sanctioned terrorism of their communities. And that's how California became this liberal state of in terms of gun restriction. And the reason why I'm like, it's more important to highlight this, because this isn't a white person, because this isn't a woman, because even maybe you could be critical of like, why would you have a gun to celebrate New Year's? That's not proper gun, this and that. even then, um, that is no excuse or reason for the state to murder you, a white supremacist, a white nationalist, um, gun for hire, to have killed Keith Porter. And I think that's why it's more important to like have those conversations and n- not require a perfect victim in order to advocate for justice, in order to advocate for retribution, in order to advocate for the end of these assassinations. I think it's more important then to have that conversation. I think it's more important to highlight that we need to stop demanding that the people that we care about, the people that deserve justice, be perfect fucking angels. And when we talk about being perfect, when we talk about being angels, whiteness is what we imagine, is what we think, is what our collective imagery goes towards. And that's what we need to combat. And that's what we need to push back against. And yes, time and time again, it has been demonstrated that when white people suffer at the hands of the state, they are rewarded. But when black people, and I'm not even going to say black or brown this time, just black people suffer the same fate, their pain, their suffering, their murder, their extermination, their incarceration is normalized. It's absolutely normalized. And my sincere apologies for contributing to that. All right, y'all. I gotta hit the fucking showers and wake up early because we need to start streaming again at 8 a.m. I cannot be doing this whisper shit. I am too fucking loud for this whisper shit. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for sticking around for the late night stream, and donate to Keith Porter's family if you can. And remember what? Actually, let me pull up a photo of it's Junior, right? Keith Porter Jr. I wonder if there's gonna have a link to their GoFundMe here. Let me find that link to the GoFundMe. Oh, here it is. Let me drop it in the chat. Remember what Glenn Ford said? Organize with eyes wide open. And as is the ritual now, John Trudell, whose family was also assassinated by state violence, the beast. In a wisp of smoke down on the corner, there was this cat named Fortunate Lee talking at me from voices in his head, yelling about what Storyteller said. You gotta be careful here, child. There's a beast in the promised land. There's madness you don't understand. The beast is crazed and running wild. Little boy, man, little girl, woman, no big deal. Nothing personal. Your mind's another meal. Savoring the rush of you like heady wine, feeding is what the beast is meant to do. Stranger are those walls built to hide. Stranger to look and learn not to see. He's in the mask you put on your face. Thoughts, his favorite breeding place. In the race to midnight, it's after 11. The nature of the beast is all he knows. Behind the doors of hell are gates of heaven. Doors are open, but the gates are closed. Buenas noches, ya estuvo.